If the prince asks, tell them the gods collected what did not belong to him.
In a kingdom where tradition ruled the heart, a prince loved the girl he was never meant to see. They silenced her name, they buried an empty coffin, and they taught him how to mourn a lie. For 6 years, grief wore a crown, until one child stood at a grave and told a story that the earth could no longer keep. This is not just a love story, it is a war between power and truth, between a throne and the woman it tried to erase. They did not come with drums, they did not come with fire, they came quietly, the way sickness comes, unannounced, unarguable, already decided. The night they took Adani, the moon hid behind thick clouds, as though the sky itself refused to witness what was about to be done. Umuchi slept under a false peace, unaware that a story was being severed at his roof. Adani was awake. She has been awake for hours, sitting on the edge of her mat, listening to her mother's breathing and the restless shifting of her father outside the hut. Fear now had a sound. It moved through the dark like an insect crawling inside her chest. When the knock came, it was gentle. Too gentle. Her father opened the door before the second knock could land. The men outside wore no armor, only dark wrappers and faces trained into careful neutrality. Behind them stood a woman Adani had seen only once before. From a distance, her presence unmistakable even without a crown. Queen Nkiru stepped forward. "I am sorry," she said softly, as if apologizing for it. Adani's mother collapsed to her knees. The queen did not look at her. "This must be done tonight," Nkiru continued, quietly for the sake of everyone. Her father's voice trembled. "She has done nothing wrong, my queen." The queen inclined her head slightly. "That is really the point." Adani rose. She felt strangely calm, as though her body had already accepted what her heart was still resisting. She did not cry. She did not beg. She simply stepped forward and bowed. "I will go, my queen," she said. Her mother screamed then, raw, broken, and in malice thick. Adani turned back only once, memorizing her parents' faces, the lines grief had carved too early. She pressed her forehead briefly against her mother's, breathing her in. "Forgive me," she whispered. "For what?" her mother sobbed. "For being loved?" They did not allow her to take much. A small bundle, a single wrapper, no farewell to the river, no message for Obinna. The queen watched as Adani was led away, her posture straight, her silence defiant. "She is stronger than you think, my queen," one of the men murmured. Queen Nkiru's eyes hardened. "That," she replied, "is exactly why she cannot stay." Before dawn, a grave was prepared at the edge of the cemetery. It was shallow, symbolic, empty. By sunrise, the story had already been written. They said Adani had fallen ill suddenly. They said the sickness was swift and shameful. They said her body could not be displayed. They said the burial rites had been rushed for the safety of the land. They said many things, and by the time Prince Obinna heard, the earth had already been sealed over a lie. He broke, not loudly, not dramatically. He went very still. He listened as the words were spoken, each one a blade, slicing cleanly through disbelief, through hope, through memory. "She is dead," they told him. "She is gone," he heard. "She is buried," they whispered. He asked no questions, because the palace had taught him that questions only prolonged pain. He went to the cemetery that night alone. The grave was fresh, the name carved deep, Adani. He knelt and pressed his forehead into the soil until his hands shook. "I am sorry," he whispered. "I should have been faster." The earth did not answer. Far away on a road that stretched towards an unfamiliar kingdom, Adani walked until her feet bled. She did not know she carried life inside her. She only knew that something precious had been stolen, not her freedom, but her name, and somewhere behind her, love was being buried alive.
If this story stirred your heart and awakened your curiosity, don't stop here. Subscribe now for deeper mysteries, intense emotions, shocking twists, and unforgettable stories you won't want to miss.